Greetings! In today's video, we'll guide you through creating your first Paper plugin using the Paper API in Minecraft. Let's jump right into it. First, we need to set up our development environment by installing Java, which is the programming language used by Minecraft. If you haven't already installed Java, you can find a download link in the description below. After we install Java, we need to download and install the Java Development Toolkit or JDK, which are tools for developing and running Java programs. If you haven't already installed JDK, you can find a download link in the description below. Next, we need to download an integrated development environment, IDE, that we'll use to write and test our plugin's code. My personal favorite is IntelliJ IDEA, but feel free to use any IDE you prefer. Once we have our development environment set up, we'll create a new Java project in IntelliJ IDEA. This is where we'll begin working on our plugin. We'll name the project and location, set up the build system to use Gradle and use the Kotlin DSL for our build system. Once that's done, we'll set the group ID and artifact ID to finalize our project setup. With our project set up, we need to add the Paper API to it. We'll do this by adding the necessary lines to the build.gradle.kts file under the repositories and dependencies sections. We'll use the compile-only configuration to include the Paper API in our build but not in the final plugin. Lastly, we'll set the Java language version to 17. Now that the Paper API is integrated with our Java project, we need to configure it by creating a plugin.yml file under resources. This file contains several configurations we can add, such as the name, main class, version, and API version of our plugin. We can also add a description and author for our plugin, though these are optional. To begin developing our Paper plugin, we'll create our main class in the same location specified in our plugin.yml file. This main class must extend the Java plugin class. We can then start building the logic for our plugin by implementing the onEnable and onDisabled methods, which are responsible for initializing and terminating our plugin. As a small demonstration of the Paper and Spigot API, let's create a join message for players when they first join the server. We'll achieve this by implementing the listener class, which allows us to listen for specific events triggered in the game. We'll then create a new method that takes the player join event as a parameter and use the event handler annotation to signify that this method will handle the event. Inside this method, we'll send a welcome message to the player. Finally, we'll access the plugin manager in our onEnable method to register both our listener class and our main plugin class. We need to export it into a usable jar file. We'll do this by creating a new artifact from modules with dependencies in the project structure. In this editor, we can process our output jar file, including specifying the name and location of the jar file and choosing which resources we want to export into it. It's important to include the plugin.yml file we created earlier in this process. Once we're satisfied with the settings, we'll click Apply and then OK. To create the artifact, we'll go into the Build tab and click Build Artifact, followed by Build once again. To find the plugin, we just navigate to the specified location from the Artifact Editor panel. And there you have it, a step-by-step guide to developing your first Paper plugin in Minecraft. Good luck with your future plugin projects.